Storytelling and me. And you. 3 tips for better stories with me, Sydney Hunt. Oh, look! A picture of me to go with the magical voice that you get to listen to for more minutes. I spent a lot of years working in theater, performance, and writing, going so far as to get my Bachelor of Fine Arts in Theater. In fall 2022, I took a hard left turn into business school. Turns out that everybody everywhere likes to hear and likes to tell a good story. Maybe the left turn was more of a slight bend in the road than what I initially thought. Today, I've got 3 tips that I would love to share in the hopes that they'll help you utilize and improve your storytelling in any way that you might find them valuable. Let's jump right in. I'm going to talk at you for a moment here. It rained yesterday. I own a dog, and I used to own a red couch. Interested? Do you care? Well, then let me try this again. Yesterday, the rain fell relentlessly, as it likes to do in November. As I trudged my way home through this downpour after work, I honestly could not help but worry about the state of my brand new couch. The thought of my mischievous canine companion Max, with his fondness for mud puddles, made me anxious. As I stepped into the house, my heart sank. There he was, my loyal but muddy friend, wagging his tail with unbridled joy, his muddy paw prints etched across my once pristine red couch. The mix of frustration and love was undeniable as I gazed at the mess that he'd made, reminding me that sometimes the most cherished things in life come with a splash of chaos. A story helps to bring people in, right? It puts colors to your words, and it helps you to get across meaning. Let me ask you, why do you like to talk? Is it to hear the sound of your own voice, or is it to have people listen and care and respond to your thoughts and ideas? Adding a story in where there may not have been one before can be a really great way to draw people in and encourage them to think about what you're saying and what you actually mean. It can be a great help in allowing people to relate to you. Before, no one really cared that I used to own a red couch. But after the story, however, you might be more inclined to wipe your dog's feet before you let them back in your house, or to think twice before saying yes at the pet store to begin with. Imagine a world where farm animals live in harmony under the guidance of wise pigs. Over time, the pigs change. Pigs become selfish, power-hungry, and skilled manipulators. The pigs begin to adopt human-like behaviors, and they move away from the principles of equality that they once upheld. Following several attacks, the farm animals realize the importance of unity, and they wish to reject the manipulative ways of the past and return to a time where all animals are equal and no one abuses power. In summary, the story is a cautionary tale about how far a vision for fair society can be corrupted by ambition and manipulation, emphasizing the significance of unity and true values. Now, did I just tell you the story of George Orwell's Animal Farm or The 3 Little Pigs? If I was talking to children, this would have been a different conversation. Different audiences have varied levels of knowledge, interests, and needs. Some people are going to care about this, others are going to care about that. Making sure that your story is highlighting what is going to speak to each audience is important for good storytelling. This leads to better engagement and increased attentiveness. Every good speaker likes an audience that's going to listen to them, but you have to meet them halfway. Tailoring your story shows that you respect and that you value your audience. Let me tell you about Herman Melville. He's a storytelling wizard, and his most famous trick was, of course, Moby Dick. With his magical words and his giant white whale, he put the ocean in a blender, and he's been serving it for years. People are still hooked on Moby Dick to this day. Herman is quoted as saying, "A man thinks that by mouthing hard words, he understands hard things." When you adapt your speech to your audience, you can avoid using technical jargon or complex language that might confuse them. Instead, use relatable examples and language that they understand, making your message clearer and more relevant to their lives. If I wanted to tell you the story of the 3 little pigs, I would have used a lot more "he huffed and he puffed" And a lot less, dismantle your reality and reconstruct an equitable society. Can I read you a sentence? I didn't take his money. I'm going to take this sentence and I'm going to tell you 5 different stories. Are you ready? I didn't take his money. 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 It's a fun game to play, deciding where to put your emphasis. You can see the impact that it has just by adjusting your volume, where you put your breath, and you can change any written script. A lot of the time, folks who are nervous to share a story will run right through it. Sure, it'll get the whole public speaking nightmare over soon, but it'll hardly leave the impact that you're looking for. Taking your time with your words and separating your thoughts up and honoring the fact that you do know what you're talking about and that your story has been written with intention is important. If you go really fast, Hamlet by William Shakespeare can be performed in 1 hour and 44 minutes. If you take your sweet time, you can also make the audience sit there and watch you for 9 hours. Neither of these are great options for you or for your audience. Taking the right amount of space and time is important. Sometimes that means slowing down, and others it means picking up the pace. A great tip for this is to follow the punctuation. The way that we understand language has a lot to do with the way that we contextualize our written words. Commas, periods, colons, dashes, they all mean something different. So find a code that works for you and stick to it. By no means was this a definitive list of tips and tricks, but I hope it shed a bit of light on the power of storytelling and on just how simple it can be to get your foot in the door of powerful storytelling. Telling a good story takes practice, and I hope you have the chance to get out there and tell a great one. Or 2. Good luck.